Okay friends, now let's talk of a flame. So when we light our gas stove, right, the LPG flame we can see, right? Look at the color of that flame of your gas stove. You may sometimes see it as yellowish, sometimes it looks reddish, some part of it looks bluish in color. Then in class 7th we burnt a magnesium ribbon. Actually in this lesson also, at the start we also were shown this picture of a magnesium ribbon being burned. Just let's look at it again. Remember this pic? See this thing. Right? Do you see a flame appear, or do you just see light? Just think of it, right? Let's go back now. So now let's see this. Let's go. I see this diagram. Look at this. This is the color of a candle flame. Look at this color. Looks yellowish, right? And then see the color of a kitchen lamp, the stove of the kitchen, right? Look at the flame up here. It is bluish at the bottom, some red parts at the side, right? But it's a blue flame. This is a yellow flame. A rule of thumb you should always know that the blue flame is the hottest. Then will come a white flame. Right? Then will come a yellow flame, and then will come a red flame, right? And we can say reddish black last. Reddish black. Red flame and reddish black flame are the coolest flame. Right? Coolest. So you see, from hottest blue to the coolest where heat is less. So very high heat, less heat up here, and yellow would be somewhere in the middle. So a candle flame will have comparatively less heat compared to a gas flame, right? A blue flame. So if it's blue, it is more hot. Right? Remember this: blue, white are hot. Yellow is somewhat less, and red black means there's more impurity, less heat. Okay, so this will be less hot. Okay, so that's our rule of thumb. Now look at this three types of flame up here. The flame of kerosene lamp, right? A nice flame, right? Where we can see three different zones are seen. This is zone number 1, this is zone number 2, and then zone number 3. We are going to see about these three zones in the subsequent part. Then a flame of a candle where you can see again three zones. The zone number 1 at the bottom where it is more reddish, means less hot. Then the zone number 2 in the middle part where it is yellow, and the top part is a blue part. That's zone number 3. If you put your finger here at this part, you are going to get burnt, my friends. But if you pass your finger from this part, the bottom part, your whole finger will pass through, but you will not get burnt. So never put your hands on top of the candle flame. If you have to play a trick with your friends, pass it in the middle. You can also extinguish this candle just by holding here, right? When you just pinch up here, the candle will get extinguished. Your fingers won't get burned, but don't put your hands on top. And look at the Bunsen burner, right? A very dirty flame, right? This is a very dirty flame. A lot of impurity is there. But if it's made of gas, it's a blue flame. I'm very sorry, friends. This is a blue flame. No impurities, right? In fact, if it's a Bunsen burner, it's made of gas, right? There's a gas supply up here. Then this flame is a blue flame, very hot flame. Okay, now look at these materials, right? The materials forming flame on burning. A candle on burning will form a flame. Magnesium ribbon on burning will not form a flame. We just had white light, so flame is not formed. Camphor on burning will not form a flame. Kerosene stove will form a flame, and charcoal on burning will not have a proper flame, right? Will not have a proper flame. Okay, so let's do an experiment now. Light a candle, right? Hold a glass tube with a pair of tongs, right? Chipya se pakro, and introduce its one end in the dark zone of the non-flickering candle flame, right? Look at this figure. Right? We are holding a tube. See, candle is there, and we are inserting this tube into the dark zone, the middle part of the candle, right, in the inner part where it is red, right, and then we are holding a matchstick at the side. Then bring a lighted matchstick near the other end of the tube. Do you see a flame? And if so, what is it that produces a flame? Why did this matchstick light up? So notice that the wax near the heated wick melts quickly. Where up here? See, there are a lot of wax up here. There's a wax, right? The molten wax is forming up here near the heated wick. This is the wick, and the heated wick wax will melt, and this wax will turn into vapor. The wax vapors are rising up, and this wax vapors are entering this tube. And the vapors which are coming here are going to burn brightly, and the flame is obtained up here. Okay, so the substance which vaporizes during burning will give flame. So flame will come only when vaporizing will come, right? The substance will vaporize. For example, kerosene oil and molten wax rise through the wick and are vaporized during burning and form flame. See, kerosene, the molten wax or wax vapors will rise through the wick and into this tube, and they will cause the flame. Charcoal, on the other hand, does not vaporize, so it will not produce a flame. So to make a flame, vapor of a thing should occur, right? The object should vaporize. Now when the candle flame is steady, now let's take another example. When the candle flame is steady, introduce a clean glass plate or slide into the luminous zone of the flame, the middle part of the flame, this part, right? Hold it there with a pair of tongs for 10 seconds, then remove it. Something like this. See this experiment, right? When the candle is steady, we hold the test tube with a slide with a pair of tongs, and we put it in the luminous part, the shiny yellow part of the candle, or the middle part, and then we hold it for 10 seconds and then remove it, and we'll see something like this. See up here in this diagram, black soot is now a circular blackish ring is formed. This indicates the deposition of unburnt carbon particles present in the luminous zone of the flame. So this is the soot, and soot is nothing but unburnt carbon particles, right? Unburnt carbon particles, and that is the धुआं जो निकलता है, the soot, right, which comes out. Now let's then do another experiment. Hold a thin copper wire just inside the flame for about 30 seconds. See, we're taking copper wire and we hold it just inside the flame up here at the top part for about 30 seconds. Notice that the portion of the copper wire just outside the flame gets red hot. See, this part will get red hot. This part of the flame, the copper wire will get very hot. This part will not get very hot. This shows that the heat zone of the flame is in the outside part. The outer portion of the flame is where the blue flame is, and this is the hottest part of the flame. Does it indicate that the non-luminous, the non-shining zone of the flame has a high temperature? In fact, this part of the flame is the hottest part. So what do goldsmith do? Sony जो है goldsmith, they blow the outermost zone of a flame with a metallic blowpipe for melting gold and silver. And they use the outermost zone. Why? Because it is the hottest zone of the flame, right? So now if you look at this candle, this flame, see this flame, the different zones of a flame, right? Very, very important answer. We'll see there are 3 zones of a flame. The innermost zone, this part, see, this is first part, the innermost zone of unburnt wax vapors, it is black in color, this part, inner part. Then we have the middle zone of partial combustion, right? There is some black vapor up here, unburnt carbon is there, so it's partially combusting. It's the yellow part. This is the part which shines. And then we have the outer zone where complete combustion takes place. This is the blue part, see, this part, blue part. We also have a moderately hot zone, see, this part, right? Moderately hot zone is this red part. So you see, we have the black part, yellow part, right? And then we have this part, red part, and then look at this blue part, which is the highest, here, hottest part. Hottest part is the outer zone. This zone of the candle is the hottest part, outer part. While this part is the least hot part, see the middle part of this. Okay, see this goldsmith is blowing through a pipe, right? The outer part of the is blowing air on the outer part. Why is blowing air? Because then if more air is supplied to the candle or the flame, it will burn more better, more combustion will occur, and then the goldsmith can use this for melting silver and gold. Okay, let us stop here. Now next video we do a new topic. We'll talk of water fuels. Okay.